So this is the shoe this month is the Sonicblast. The reason Rogues can get on board for your sponsorship with Asics, mate, perfect segue. Hey, so we've got Flight Foam Turbo top layer. So it's actually two different layers here. Then you've got a plate. It's a P-Bax plate through the bottom. Flight Foam Blast Max bottom layer. But really, I couldn't believe how snappy it was just for a P-Bax plate. Usually you'd probably find that in some of the carbon. It's a 8mm heel to toe drop. So pretty standard amongst most of these types of shoes. And you're looking at the Stackers 40, what have we got? 46mm heel to toe, like in the heel, sorry. So it's quite a high one. And if you want to ratify world record, you cannot do it in this shoe. So the race shoes are under 40mm. At 240 grams, it's not the lightest, but it's a tempo speed shoe. And yeah, probably it goes up against shoes like the Saucony Endorphin Speed, which have probably owned this market. And I think this is a really cool addition to that speed sort of market, and something that probably hasn't really been done by Asics. Probably Magic Speed was probably the closest, but yeah, there it is. But let's tell us all about your runs in it.
Oh yeah, I'll go first. I think I've nearly done 200 k's in mine, and they're still pretty good, Nick. But it for me, it felt better as I went along, to be honest. So after about 30k, I felt like that plate sort of softened up. It's very snappy, lots of heel cushioning, which feels nice, and it just makes you want to run fast, this shoe. So I think, without being a carbon plate shoe, I think it can fit as a daily trainer, which is handy if you want a plated shoe but not a carbon shoe. So for me, it's a really nice shoe, and I think it works best on the roads when you want to run a little bit faster.
Yeah. So you've mainly done sessions in it, or a bit of everything?
I've done a few fartlek sessions in it, but I like to feel snappy and fast when I do most of my runs. So I can see it as a daily trainer and a session shoe. If you didn't want to put those fast carbon shoes on, but you still want to have a session, I reckon this is the shoe to go to.
Yeah. So probably for athletes like yourself, and if Philo ever wants you to run through a brick wall, mate, I've seen the size of you. Probably not a good idea, right?
You think I'm trying to second best?
Yeah. So I've probably got more chance of running through a brick wall. But for the athlete, I think certainly it's a shoe they can wear a lot. But for some of the casual punters, which you might run a Nova Blast or Super Blast as your everyday shoe, and then this one's more of your speed and tempo session. So that's how that differentiates in the Asics range. But when you are a lightweight and you can get away with it, right, you can definitely use it for more.
And I think the upper feels really nice too. That sort of soft upper feels great too.
Yeah. I definitely can't run as fast as Rogues, and I'm not as light as Rogues, but share some, like, a lot of the same sentiment. Like, the first time I put mine on were not long after Sydney Mara, and they just made you want to run fast. I felt like after you run about 7 to 10 k's in them, like the first, not just on the first run, but any run, you really feel this pick up in the back half of the run. So I did a few laps on them. I probably wore them 2 or 3 times a week for different sessions. I had a crack on the treadie on them and bits and pieces, and yeah, you definitely want to go fast in them. Faster than my usual faster than my usual slow, but I definitely think a good tempo shoe.
Did you break it up, PB?
I knew this was going to be in the question, so I actually had to check my Strava on the last one. I reckon I must have changed my email address on Strava, by the way. Anyway, no is the short answer. I had a good crack, and I've done a few longer runs at good pace in them, but yeah.
But off the back of a marathon, it's tough to get going again, mate. I'm lucky to. My last marathon, I reckon it was 3 to 4 weeks before I even felt like doing any sort of speed. So Anyway.
Yeah, then when you get a fresh pair of shoes in, then you just want to go for a run straight away. It doesn't matter how close the marathon was.
What I've noticed with Asics, all their shoes look great too, which is a big thing, isn't it? Like they just look fresh, they look fast, which is exciting, and they've got great colorways. So
they did. It's funny because I gave you both the option of whether with a white or the other color. We've all gone the same color, so I think they've just nailed this color. The other one was yellow, but anyway, this color is unreal. Part of their Tokyo pack. Pretty much throughout their range, they'll have it's hard to probably see. You can probably see on the image if I put it back up, is that it's got that sort of red or reddish pink with a bit of purple, but that's through their whole range, and there's some pretty cool stuff, pretty cool color pack.
Yeah, and Rogues, you were at the launch for that Tokyo pack.
Yeah, I went to the launch the other week for the Mega Blast and the Sonic Blast in Melbourne, and we got to try on all the shoes and get all the gear, and then we did a bit of a relay, and there was food and food vans and coffee vans. It was a great event, and I think there's probably 100 people there for the event, and everyone was saying the same thing about the Sonic Blast and the Mega Blast. So it's an exciting new shoe.
So what you probably don't know, but why Melbourne? Because I know they're out at Marsden Park, and they've got the biggest warehouse and office you've ever seen.
Oh, I need to get there. Yeah,
mate,
I don't know. I just
get down there.
Yeah, maybe because I know there's a lot of logistics behind events like that. So they had Lakeside Stadium track for the evening, and they had lights around the whole track and DJs. It was a great event, but yeah.
Is that at Albert Park, at that track at Albert Park?
Yeah, yep. That running track there.
Yep. No, that would have been unreal.
Yep, it was unreal.
Sorry, Rose, I was just going to ask, what else are you liking in the Asics range then? Since you've recently signed, what else are your favourites?
It's funny. I hadn't tried Asics shoe on for a long time. I think it might have been one of my first shoes I got when I was a young fella, and I didn't really know which shoe to cut. And I obviously trialed them before I signed, just to make sure it was all good. And I asked another Asics athlete, "What shoe should I wear? What do you wear? What's the deal these days?" And he said, "Rogues, just pick anything from the Blast family." So for the listeners out there, that's a great tip, because I'm liking the Blast family, and we've got a new one here with the Sonic Blast.
Yeah,
it's hard to go wrong with the Blast ones at the moment. They're just
isn't it? I think. Yeah, you see them everywhere.
They're killing it.
Yeah, and I think it's that foam, isn't it, Scotty? Like it's light, but it's durable, and it feels very nice underfoot.
Yeah. Look, I loved it. Look, it did feel a bit faster. My first run, I just tied them up a bit too tight, and that sort of grabbed my Achilles, but that was more on me than the shoe. But if you're saying you've got to get to 30K before they start to feel good, well, I've got a few more Ks to get before I get there.
They're only getting better then, mate. They're only getting better.
Okay, so a couple more runs and they'll be perfect. Oh, funny. So any more